series as the Buckeyes of Ohio State travel to the Big House to battle the Michigan Wolverines, as the guys of the Sports Reel podcast will be on location to cover the game of the year. Join Jason, Tim, and Eric at Taylor's Tavern in Holly, Michigan for a special live broadcast of their popular podcast. Live Saturday, November 29th, beginning at 11:45 a.m. Come out, meet the guys, be a part of the show, and watch as Michigan and Ohio State continue their historic rivalry. Saturday, November 29th at Taylor's Tavern in Holly, Michigan, it's the Sports Reel podcast live on location, a presentation of the PFC Entertainment Network.
This episode is rated M for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of the PFC Entertainment Network or any of the affiliates that make this show possible.
This is the Pure Fury Creations Entertainment Network.
From the gridiron to the ball diamonds, from the hardwood to the ice rinks, from the fairways to the octagon and everywhere in between. If it makes headlines, it's fair game on the Sports Reel podcast on the PFC Entertainment Network. And we do welcome you to the Sports Reel podcast live on the PFC Entertainment Network, along with Tim Sheridan and Eric Mendel. I am Jason Klaus. We certainly appreciate you tuning in here tonight. It's Tuesday night, so that means it's the main event for the week, if you can believe it. It seems like we just did this yesterday. This is, we make mention all the time. This is one of those things that we look forward to each and every week, breaking down the world of sports, headlines, rumor, innuendo, and everything in between. Gentlemen, good to see you as always. How's things over in the fine town of lovely Lapeer, Michigan?
Cold and dark already. He's on his phone, sharing away, doing his thing, so I'll take over for now. Nice pumpkin cup, Jason, but cold and dark, normal November time, and I'm ready for spring. I'm sick of the darkness already.
We just got started.
I love fall. I love it. I love football season, but I'm sick of going to work when it's dark. I'm sick of coming home to work or coming home when it's dark. I hate it.
So you know how you fix that? You just go into work late and you leave early.
I wish that was a thing.
It can be a thing.
If I like a job, I really can't. I don't mind the whole going to work dark and all that, but then if I could get out early, that'd be great. But that's just not a thing. That's not how the world works.
Yeah.
You're fucking on one today. I can already tell.
Yeah, I'm on one a little bit.
It's gonna be.
Jason, how you doing, buddy?
It's gonna be a show.
Listen, I can totally relate to what Eric is talking about. Obviously because of my schedule, like I go to work when it's dark every day of the year. At this point, it seems like I sleep during the daytime hours when I am able to get some decent sleep. I don't see a whole lot of daylight anymore this time of year. But that comes with the season, you know what I mean? We're halfway through November right now. Turkey Day is right around the corner. I'm getting pretty excited about that. The whole holiday season gimmick. But things are good. We're staying busy. I got my hands in a bunch of different projects and just trying to make everything come together. Tim, you doing okay?
Yeah, no, I'm doing real good today. A little bit better than what I was doing this last Friday. A little insight to the show here. Eric came over. We got a hold of you that night. We drunk called you, even though I think I was the only one that was actually drunk. But we were down here recording shit for TikTok because we decided to take on TikTok head on, and so far it's doing okay. So if anybody's watching the show from TikTok, thank you, and anybody else, thank you from any other platform that we're on, because we're all over the damn place now. But doing real good. I got real drunk that night, to be honest.
You did.
Didn't even drink that much. It caught me off guard.
Clearly you did.
Made for a rough day of work the next day. If you watch the videos from because I post them on all platforms. You hit the one when I was talking about the Eagles and the Lions. Yeah, you can obviously tell right there that I was feeling it at that point in time. Other than that, doing good. We had a fun weekend. We didn't do a whole lot besides we got 2 Christmas trees up in the house now. We went a little early this year. So we got one on every level. It's because we're not doing Thanksgiving at our house now. Usually we wait till after Thanksgiving to put up our
that is the right time to do that.
It is, but to get an early jump, we decided, well, we're not really doing Thanksgiving this year. I mean, we're going to do Thanksgiving, but we're not doing anything extravagant. So why not just put them up now and get it out of the damn way? So
that's fair. That's a fair statement. I can't be upset with that.
Yeah. When you got the time, do the things you have to do. And let me tell you,
when people put it up before Halloween, those people, those are some sick people out there.
Yeah, sick people. Before Halloween, that's too early. A week before, we're not even
the day after Halloween's too early, in my opinion. But that people think November. It's like you still got Thanksgiving to go through. Slow down.
Or a week and a half.
November 1 is when my shit goes up. I'll
November 1. So Jason loves Christmas. If you don't know this, it's his favorite holiday.
Well, he looks like Santa Claus, besides with the no hair part.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. But no,
I'm probably gonna be that way here soon. I do have a little girl and all that, and she definitely any Christmas decorations in the store, she definitely gravitates to. So I already know next couple of years I'm gonna be getting some blow ups in the yard or some Christmas lights on the house, and it ain't gonna be for me, but as long as she's happy, that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's what it's all about right there, to provide that magic of the holiday season. I can really appreciate that. So
I feel like we need to bring that back. Because I remember growing up, it seemed like Christmas meant more. A lot of people put decorations out. It felt like the world was a better place then. And it probably was.
It most certainly was. It was so much less cynical than what we see nowadays. And I went on a tangent on the 80s show, which drops on Wednesday morning, about how kids nowadays, because of social media and their access to all this information, they're ruining the whole premise of the magic of Christmas for other kids. And it makes me want to smash them in the fucking teeth, if I can be honest with you. It's like, man, what are we doing right now? But I will make mention too, in my travels to and from work, even at this point, I'm starting to see more houses putting lights on. There's a lot more decorations in this part where I'm at. So that makes me happy.
Good.
So hopefully we're getting back to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm hoping, on a side note, I'm hoping people start participating in trick-or-treating more too.
I don't know. It seemed like it was pretty heavy this year where we went.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But I remember that when I was, I said I went there, it seemed like every house was lit up. Every house was passing out candy.
I think it's been a weird year all around.
Fair enough. I'm just hoping it turns around,
I do feel the Christmas spirit coming on a little bit earlier this year. And I just think more people need the Christmas spirit this year, to bring a little joy in their life. So I feel like that spirit's coming on. And that's why I felt okay with putting up 2 Christmas trees already,
gotta enjoy the little
week and a half before thing. And Chase was pretty excited because he's got his own tree, to put all his fucking weird ass ornaments all over that he got at Bronner's this year. We discussed that in a previous episode.
Yeah, you guys got a lot.
So he had to have his own full tree this year.
Okay, let's get into the world of sports there, Jason Klaus. Start us off.
Sports? Is this a sports show?
Believe it or not.
I thought we were going to talk about personal life stories.
That can be a different time.
That for the flagship show. That's what that's geared towards.
I had some good ones.
I do have. I do want to make mention. We are simulcasting this live across Facebook, YouTube, and Riverside.fm. If you are watching us on the Facebook feed, Right now in the live chat is the link. If you want to be a part of the show, you click that link. We get the notification.
All right.
Boom, you're on screen with us as Tim leaves the studio. That's perfectly fine.
That's a tinkle.
Well, Eric, what we'll do since he's doing that, let's start with the NHL. We were going to start with the Pistons, but
Tim had to fuck it up like usual.
But I'm sure he has he has an opinion on the NBA side of things. But let's look at the NHL right now, because the Detroit Red Wings are kind of starting to turn it around a little bit. Let's look at
they're getting out of that slump. They're getting out of that slump.
Last week, they had a pretty decent week last week. If you look at the results, a big win over the Anaheim Ducks. They did drop an overtime game to the Sabres, and
the overtime game. Sorry to interrupt you. The overtime game, they were up 4-1.
Yeah,
they were up 4-1 in the second, and somehow you dropped the ball and let up 3 goals. Come on. Granted, you made it to overtime, so you got a point. So that does help, but still, come on. 4-1, you got to finish that.
I totally agree. And this is one of those things that makes me nervous about this team, because when you look at the other powerhouse teams in the NHL, you don't see this happen. When they get a lead like that, they maintain that momentum. Is it the youth of the team, the inexperience playing on this level that we're seeing unfold in real time in the most inopportune time? But I mean, even though we're still very early on in this season, this raises a lot of red flags right now. This is some shit that they're going to have to figure out before we start getting into January, February, March, getting into the latter part of the season.
You go to games you need to win, and if you're up early, you got to keep the foot on the gas, and you can't let it go. You got to keep the pressure on the other team, and maybe something happened where the other team just got one goal and took the momentum. That does happen in hockey. It's a very momentum sport and all that. So I don't know. I didn't really watch the game much. I knew they were up 4-1, and then next thing I know, it's 4-4 going in overtime, and they lose in overtime. I'm like, well, wish I could have really sat down and watched the whole thing and see what unfolded. But at least you got a point. You're 11-7-1. You're not sitting too bad. You're probably coming up a little bit more because you gained some points back because you beat Anaheim. You went in overtime, and then you beat the Rangers. So there's 5 points right there. So that's decent. Would have been better if you got 6, but I want to get into that Rangers game, the New York Rangers game, because the bench is cleared at the end of the game, and that was very interesting for 2 original 6 teams to do that.
We haven't seen anything like that in a hot minute.
I can't remember the player's name. I was trying to remember it to make sure, but he had the puck and all that, and he threw it at the net as the final buzzer went, and then I think Quick, the goalie, did not like it, and he went after him, and Larkin stepped right in, and then next thing you know, the bench is cleared.
Yeah.
So that just made a little bit more of a rival in the East between the Red Wings and the Rangers now.
Yeah, and there's really when I look at
let's continue.
Sorry.
Damn it, you fucking seen it. Oh.
Where the fuck the TV go?
The fuck did you just do?
I didn't do anything.
Clearly you did.
See, you come in here rolling like a hurricane, and that's what happens, Tim. You start
you fuck shit up, dude. Fucking idiot.
No, my TV just shut. Oh.
Yeah,
TV just shut off. It was fucking weird.
It was.
I didn't hit anything.
But continue about what we're into about the Red Wings and the Rangers benches clearing and stuff.
You're damn right I did, David. You're damn right, Dave.
Oh, God.
I went up there, listened to a little Taylor Swift. Now I'm ready to fucking roll. I'm ready to bring excellence to this fucking show right now.
Well, you fucking ruined it. I mean, you sucked all the air right out of the studio. Mine too. And
He's good at sucking. 40
40 minutes away from
Red Wings
all right.
Rangers. What's your opinion on that? The bench is clearing.
Listen, what I took away from it was, man, okay, it didn't matter that it was two original six teams. What I appreciated about it, as dangerous of a situation as things like that is, man, the fire, like that had me feeling like old school hockey, because it's been a minute, dude. Like the NHL has gone above and beyond, and I get it. I'm not disparaging it by any stretch of the imagination, but they have made rule changes that, and they're trying to make shit more safe for the players, and I understand that.
Yeah.
But man, when you start tweaking it so much, you take a lot of
the game away.
That's it. I was trying to think of the best way to say
the
that.
first thing that I think about is the Red Wings and Avalanche.
Yeah.
It's the first thing I think about. After that, that's when it kind of started to change. Because you already knew after that, when they came back, it was everyone knew. Everybody.
When I saw the fight, that's the first thing I thought of. I was like, man, we haven't seen anything like this with the Red Wings since March 26th of 97. Now, the fact that I can rattle that date off like that, and most hardcore Red Wings fans can, like that was a fucking moment, man.
I'm a Red Wings fan. I could not rattle off the date. So hats off to you for that one, Jason. I will give you that. That was impressive.
Listen, that particular game that night will go down as one of the most impactful nights in the entire history of the Detroit Red
Whoever
Wings.
had a seat in the Joe Louis Arena that night, that was a hell of a game to be at.
I had a friend
because you knew at one point it was going down. You just didn't know when.
Right. Oh, I had a buddy of mine that was at that game, and he I should try to get him on the show.
That would be great to talk about that. That would be great. That game, and then the other game I could think of, different sport though, that would be great to be at, is when Calvin broke Jerry Rice's record against Atlanta in Ford Field. That would have been, God, that I could only imagine the atmosphere in that game.
The Malice at the Palace.
That too. That
would, yeah, for sure. But Ben was in Joe Louis Arena on that night, and he said it was like,
yeah, you could feel the atmosphere in the Joe was different. Yeah, the atmosphere was different, but then probably that game was just something even more.
So the entire building was literally shaking when all that.
I believe that 100%.
I was like, man. So
I believe it 100%.
I really I don't want anybody permanently fucked up from a fight. Like, nobody wants that. But man, what we saw the other night with the Rangers,
old school hockey.
Yep, 100%. And that's what I appreciated about it. And if this doesn't light a fire under the Red Wings' asses, nothing will. You know,
I think it did, because they could have won 3 in a row. They should have won 3 in a row. But I'll take the OT. You got a point out of it. I'll take 5 points over 6. I would have liked 6 because it would have boosted you up a little bit further. But you're coming up, and you have that momentum now. Can you pull up the one thing so we can see the next couple games coming up?
Well, of course I could, just because you're so nice and asked.
Yeah, we got to see what's going on. So you got the Kraken.
Yep, that's Tim's favorite team.
Yeah, I fucking love that. I'm going to get him a jersey.
Fucking dumb name.
I'm going to get him a jersey where you can put the name on the back, and it's going to be Little Bitch.
This is the shit I got to put up with.
Okay.
All right.
Got the Kraken, what, tonight? Yeah, it's tonight.
Yep, tonight, Thursday night, they got the New York Islanders. Saturday, a big showdown with the Columbus Blue Jackets, and then Monday they start a road trip at New Jersey to play the Devils. So this is a very winnable week for them if they can get their shit together. The Islanders
I think
probably the ones that I'm most worried about right now.
I think the Blue Jackets, they're a tough team. They always play us tough. It's Columbus. It's Ohio. Any team from Ohio plays any team from Michigan tough.
And I love Ohio.
Oh,
Jesus
This
Christ.
is the shit I deal with. This is the shit I deal with.
Let me look at the.
I'd say the Islanders and the Columbus Blue Jackets are the two I'm worried about. The Kraken and the Devils are. You don't sleep on the Devils either. They're a good franchise. Now I don't know how they're doing this year, but we can look up how all the standings are going.
Yep, the Devils are okay. They are tied in for first place in the Metropolitan Division in the Eastern Conference with Carolina.
So they're not someone to sleep on at all.
No, the Red Wings are tied for second in the Atlantic. Boston Bruins are starting to turn shit on right now.
Oh yeah, that's a franchise you can never count out either. They always got good players.
When you look at the conference as a whole, in the Eastern, the New Jersey Devils and the Carolina Hurricanes are tied atop the Eastern. The Red Wings are tied for third with Montreal.
Okay, see, so last episode they were in 10th. Now look at those 3 games they turned around. Now they're in third.
Yep. The Islanders are sitting in the 7th hole, and the Blue Jackets are right behind them, tied. Tied with the Islanders.
Yeah, so the East is definitely really tight right now. There's no one really pulling away.
No, because like you had just said last week, these looked completely different. Montreal.
Yeah, the Wings were in the tied for 10th place with 3 teams, and now they're in 3rd place. And now you have 3 games that the Islanders, Blue Jackets, and Devils are all on the East side. You got to win; those are must-win games to get into first, especially with the Devils being tied for first or in first place.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge one.
Me. Well, when I saw that, it's like, man, because New Jersey has kind of been at the bottom rung for a while. So that's just good. That just goes to show how much can change from one season to the next. A few key moves, man. I had just made mention on the 80s podcast because it was on this day back in the 80s. I can't remember what year it was, but Wayne Gretzky had created a shit ton of controversy by calling the New Jersey Devils a Mickey Mouse organization. And I remember the backlash on that. And now here we are, as we're doing this live here tonight, they're sitting on top of the Eastern Conference, and I hate the Devils. I still remember 95 when they swept the fucking Red Wings out of the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yep.
I never forgot that. And so it just goes to show. And again, we're still pretty early on here in the season, so nothing is written in stone yet. But this is how competitive the Eastern Conference is. When you look at the Western Conference, the Colorado Avalanche have a pretty good stranglehold on it right now. They're sitting on top, and
they won it. They won it 2 years ago, so they're still a solid team.
Yeah, yep, for sure. Tim, do you have any comments about the fight that we saw the other night with the Red Wings and the Rangers?
No comment.
Okay. Well,
actually, I didn't watch it. I've been watching basketball and a lot of football.
Yeah. Saturday we did watch the Pistons. I'll say.
Yeah.
Or Friday.
Yeah, I've been following the Pistons pretty heavy along with football. So I didn't catch the Wings. I leave that one up to you guys. So I'll start watching them as soon as football starts slowing down. That Wing season picks up a little bit. That's when I'll dive back into it. But there's a lot of sports to follow, Jason. It's hard to follow them all. And golf, I've been watching a little bit of golf. I'm not ready to get quite back into the tip.
Did you watch curling? Yet. Did you watch curling? I watched that. The U.S. actually made a stand and came back. Did you not see that?
I did not see that. I was watching other sports.
Wow, you need to watch TikTok more. That's where I seen that from. They actually came back and put it and won it. I was impressed. I didn't know what they were yelling, but they were yelling loud.
Oh, dude, it's the most amazing sport ever.
But
like, just imagine those fucking sweepers, dude.
Dude, they were sweeping. They were sweeping.
People are like, and they're like,
You're good at that motion. You're probably really good at that.
I got to make money somehow.
Exactly. Well, you brought up the Pistons, so let's talk about the Red Hot Pistons.
Hang on.
What's your comments on that,
Eric? Hang on a second.
Uh-oh.
I want to make one more mention about the NHL. Alex
Let's do it.
Ovechkin made history this week. And
I did share that. What, 900 goals or something? I can't remember.
Yep.
That was it.
He surpassed our own Gordie Howe as the one player that has the most goals of one franchise in history.
Hats off to him. That's incredible.
That dude's amazing.
That's something special. 900 goals in the NHL. That's not easy, and that's longevity in the game, and that's a hard game to play for a very long time and be that good at.
100%. So I did want to make mention of that.
Yep, 100%. That was a good thing to bring up because I remember sharing that because I seen that. That was impressive.
All right, we'll make the transition over to the National Basketball Association, and it seems like not just us, but the entire country is talking about the Detroit Pistons right now. Winners of 10 in a row. These guys are on fire like we haven't seen in a hot minute. When you look at how their week went down last week, man, very impressive outings. On Wednesday, they picked up a 137-135 win over the Washington Wizards. Friday, they pretty much kicked the shit out of the 76ers at 140.
They did not. No, that was a lot closer game than it shows. That was a very close game until about the last couple minutes.
Well, then
me and Tim can concur on that one.
I remember most of it.
About Monday's game.
Well, he said most of it, so
yeah. Which I want to point out right now, when we were talking about this last week, we looked at this next week coming up, and I said they were going to go 4-0 in the week, and I was 100% correct there.
He was. I will give you that. You were.
You guys were a little bit of.
We were worried about the 76ers.
Yeah, we were cautiously optimistic.
I was like I said, if they beat the Bulls, they'd finish out the week clean. Is what I said, and that's exactly what they did.
Not wrong.
But yeah, they've been on a tear, and you really look at the thing or the stat lines, and you look at it and go, "Where's Cade? Where's all these other people?" We got a few injuries on the team right now, and I talked about Cade, staying healthy. He's been off the last few games. I don't even know when he's exactly coming back to play, but that team has been holding it together even without Cade on the court. So that's been fucking huge to go on a 4-win run, actually 5 wins now, because they won
10 games total.
Yeah, 10 games total, but the last almost 5 games without Cade, I think it was 4 or 5 games without Cade. And they're still somehow pulling it out, and they're just playing really good basketball. They're getting turnovers. They're not giving up a lot of turnovers. They're hitting threes left and right. You know what I mean? They're drawing fouls.
Friday, I can't remember his name. He threw it from half court and made a 3 at the end of the third.
Yeah, it was just like they're just playing really good fucking basketball right now, and it's exciting to see. But I always question back right now. I still have my guard up because watching the Tigers this past season being the number 1 team in the MLB. Leading up to that All-Star break, and then all of a sudden just kind of shit in the bed after that, still making the playoffs and going deeper than they did the season prior. But right now, the Pistons are on one of those runs right now that really is reflective of the 04 season.
Well, last time they did this was 07-08 when they won 10 straight.
Yeah.
It's been that long since they won 10 games in a row. So, yeah, the 04 or 03-04, yeah, when they won it. So this might be the next, I'm hoping, might be the next team that brings the title back home.
Cross our fingers there.
Let's get another title back to Detroit. We're this is a team this year. This is a team, and that's what every championship Detroit has is a team effort. It's not just a couple big stars and the rest of them. It's a team, and that's what these guys are playing like, and it's exciting to watch. They're not selfish. They just want to win. That's what they're doing.
that's what it boils down to. Is it's not a selfish play. That's one thing that in the few games that I've been able to watch, because they've been on Peacock quite a bit here lately, and
And they
that's how
fixed the turnovers like they did early in the season. They fixed the turnovers, and they're playing good.
100%. And I'll go ahead and take credit for that. They listened to the show, so
That's fair. That's fair. They heard it. They heard it out in the universe, and they're like, "We got to fix that for Jason Klaus," and they did.
Well, for the Sports Real podcast,
the Sports Real podcast. You're right. But no, they're playing very well. I'm not very skeptical about it. Maybe this is just a different trend in Detroit now. Maybe we're actually all the teams are going to be taken seriously now in the sports world. All of them are winning. All of them are above 500. All of them are playing very well this year. Right. So maybe that's just something bit different. The Lions have turned it around because they've been, the hope in the last couple of years, and now the Red Wings have fixed it, the Pistons have fixed it, the Tigers are fixing it. We'll just see what comes about next season for the Tigers. But right now, the Red Wings and Pistons, they're playing hot.
So let me ask you this: let's put out predictions right now. What do you think is the next team in Detroit that's going to win a championship?
Ooh, this is a good conversation.
Yeah.
I
think the best bet's the Pistons.
I really wanted to say the Lions.
I wanted to too, but
there's a few teams in when we get the NFL thing.
Yeah, we'll get in the NFL. I think the best right now is Pistons. They got Cade a couple of years ago. They drafted him number 1 overall. They're finally putting pieces around them. They're a team. They have a good coach. They have a good coaching staff, and they're playing very well on the road still. That's huge. If you can play well on the road, you're a hard team to beat. I think it's the Pistons. I'll bring a championship home to Detroit next. I really do.
Let me see what the Pistons are doing on the road right now. Right now, they're 4-1 on the road, 7-1 at home.
What's their next week's schedule like? Let's hear that. Let's see if we have any concerns. Let's see if Tim can call another 4 in a row or something.
Well, I didn't even get to answer my question on that last thing. Neither did Jason.
We'll get to it, but
you stole that.
I did because I know what I'm talking about.
Whole spot.
We'll get back to it, but we're on the Pistons.
Upcoming tonight, they're in Atlanta to play the Hawks. Saturday, they will be at Milwaukee to play the Bucks, and then Monday, another matchup at Indiana with the Pacers.
3-0. I see it. I really do. So I think Giannis is out for Milwaukee right now. I think he got hurt.
Yeah.
So right there, they're big stars out. I really could see them
going 13-0.
Yeah, winning 13 games straight.
Being 13-2, but win 13 straight.
Yeah, I could really see it. I could really see it.
No.
The one the game that is the biggest threat to them, statistically speaking, is the Atlanta Hawks. The Bucks and the Pacers are in the bottom of the Central right now. But
don't count out the Pacers.
No, for sure. Even though they've only won one game at this point.
Yeah,
I feel that.
I think the Pacers are going to be cooked this year, but I thought the Bucks. But yeah, so the toughest team is going to be the Hawks. If they can win that one, I think 13 straight. Honestly,
it's not out of the question. It is certainly not out of the question, especially when you look at the camaraderie that these guys are playing.
They are just. Go ahead.
When you can do what you're doing without your star player, man, that says volumes.
Yeah, it's huge, and especially for Cade to sign that 6-year deal with Nike. He just signed a 6-year deal with Nike now.
He's gonna have his own shoe coming out.
Yep.
Gonna have to rock the Cade Cunninghams here real soon.
For real. But Back to the question. I interrupted you guys. Who will be the next team to bring?
You didn't technically interrupt us. You answered the question, then moved us back to a different.
I'm sorry. Well, let's go back to that.
You're like, I don't give a fuck what Tim and Jason think about this question.
I give a fuck what Jason thinks, but fuck you, because you're on one today. So I just had to set that tone. But
Dave's given us the it'll pop up in the chats here pretty soon. The link to the worldcurling.org.
Okay, fuck
so
off
we can
with
do
that.
a curling segment. We're gonna do Eric's 2 minutes of curling segment every week.
Okay, fair, whatever.
So back to the question. Back to your question. What is the next Detroit team to win a championship? I know it's a little bit of a sidebar off the Pistons topic, and
I'm out of it. I already answered mine, so it's between you and Jason.
Jason, what is your thoughts?
Right now, it's the Pistons. As things sit right now, the way everything is kind of moving, I want so bad to say the Lions. But after what the fuck we saw on Sunday night with the Eagles, and we'll get to that here in a little bit, man, I'm concerned about that. So, I mean, the safe bet right now, if I was a betting man, it would be the Pistons, because they're just firing on all cylinders, no pun intended. I don't know, man. Like that, they're showing a lot of heart, a lot of grit. Yeah, I would say the Pistons will be the team that brings the next world title to the city.
So, side note, he said firing all cylinders means they got all them horses. That means those 90 logos with the horse was a great. So they got all them horses going to win that championship.
Shut the fuck up.
But answer your question, Tim. Answer your own question.
So, going to my question here, go to what Dave said there. Dave picked the Lions, which, I mean, theoretically, if the Lions win it this year, they would be the next one to win it because they would win it before the Pistons won it. But the Lions, I feel good about where the Lions are right now. Currently, a lot of people are shitting on them. They had a bad game. There was a lot of factors in that game. To lose to the defending Super Bowl champions by 7, and theoretically, if Dan Campbell would have not done some stupid shit, and Dan Campbell, I fucking love you, and I'm putting Dan Campbell out of the universe.
And that pass interference call was bullshit.
Not that I felt confident that they'd be able to run down and score a touchdown and tie that thing up, because the offense was just not working that day. The fucking offensive line.
They should have ran. We're not. Well, We'll get into it later. Yeah. Continue.
And there's teams like the Rams in the NFC right now, which are fucking they're true contenders. The Rams, I think, are the scariest team in the NFC. But I mean, realistically, if you're looking at a thing, who could be next? It'd have to be either the Pistons or the Red Wings. And honestly, right now, the Pistons are playing the most complete basketball compared to, the Red Wings are not playing complete hockey yet. The Pistons are, they're that team. Even when, the stars are hurt, everybody else is stepping up and still playing hard. It's early in the season. It's hard to call, but if they can keep this up through the season, and that's another thing that kind of makes me a little standoffish, because it's such a long season. It's one of the longer seasons. What are we, 80? How many games? 89?
I think 88.
88 games. That's a lot of fucking basketball. So
that's why
I think they do.
That's why they're letting Cade rest right now when everyone's hot. So like when they start,
well, they're not letting him rest. He's hurt.
Oh, he's 100% hurt. Oh, okay,
that's what I'm hearing. I haven't heard an actual injury report, but right now he's been resting. But it's been okay because everybody else has been stepping up and handling business. But I mean, realistically, right now, I think it's the Pistons. I don't know if Detroit or the Lions are quite there yet. That offensive line, I still think another year to mend.
Not when you had the best offensive line last year. And then you lose a couple key players and you don't address it like you should have.
Yeah.
And you got a rookie, and then you got pretty much another rookie at guard. Yeah, your interior line's not firing like it should be.
No, but I think that's something that's going to grow, and that might be a next thing. You know what I mean?
It could be.
And I don't want to put that bad juju out in the fucking world, you know what I mean? Because I do think the Lions are one of the better offenses in the league. And that defense this week has stepped up and looked incredible. We'll get into that in a little bit. But like, I just honestly, the most complete Detroit team currently, I know the Tigers don't really count because they're not currently playing, but they did go deep. But right now is the Detroit Pistons, and it's almost like that 04 go to work team. You know what I mean? It's It's just that team that is clicking, and I think they can carry this through.
There's good chemistry in the locker room. That's the thing. You have that chemistry in the locker room. It's everything. Those Lions last year, they had that chemistry in that locker room. They all knew what they wanted. The Pistons know what they want this year, and I'm happy we all said the Pistons. I really do. I think this could be their year to bring it home. With how they're playing, if they can keep it going, yeah, you're gonna have some slumps. You're gonna have some, a couple losses that you should have won, or maybe a couple close games. But if you can keep going the way you're going, you'll be just fine.
Yeah, I mean, right there, Pistons. You said Pistons. That answers our question. Tell us in the chat. I mean, Dave said he thinks it's the Lions. Scott,
I hope Dave's right, because I would love.
I'm dreaming. I mean,
I would love to be in a Super Bowl party when the Lions are in the Super Bowl. I'm gonna be hammered as shit. I'm not going to work the next day, because if they win, I'm going down to Detroit to riot. That's all I'm saying.
He said he's gonna go down to Detroit and riot.
Listen, if the Lions were to make the Super Bowl, the state of Michigan is shutting down. Straight
probably up. You're probably right. I honestly think, like, this is just a side note, with all the fact that the Red Wings Pistons are at Little Caesars, Ford Field's right down there, and Comerica Park, or whatever you're going to fucking call it now because it's sold. But the fact that all the Detroit teams are in Detroit, I think it's really turning around the city too.
100%.
It's 100%. Really bringing a lot of money to the city that they can turn around and fix it. And it's like, I'm happy about that. And all of them are playing good. So people are going to the games. People are spending money. People want to see us play. It's not just like it used to be when we all sucked and no one wanted to go.
I mean, realistically speaking, the Lions have been selling out for years after years after years. The only difference now is they've raised their prices so high that, the normal person can't go and fucking watch them. Eric will be drunk the whole week after the Super Bowl. Yeah, I'll be right there. I'll be right there with him. Dave.
Probably.
But yeah, the Lions always sold out. I think the teams that are benefiting from the Lions' success, and it comes back to the whole grit mentality, is the Tigers have went back to selling out the stadium, and that's
Red Wings,
partly on
Pistons,
their success. And they've raised their prices. The Red Wings, the Pistons,
everyone's gonna raise their prices.
Yeah, it's becoming unaffordable for most, Detroit fans to actually go see the game, but they're still selling out every fucking week. And, it's a benefit to the city. And like you said, it's making, I mean, honestly, to go down and hang down in the city right now, it's fucking awesome down there. I enjoy going down.
Yeah.
Down there.
You could just literally go out in front of Little Caesars Arena where they have that giant screen and hang out and have a great time.
Yeah.
That's all. You could do that, and it's still a great time. You don't have to be in the game. You still have that atmosphere outside, because it's just such a good city to be sports wise.
No, I'm sorry. I
guess we threw him off.
No, you didn't. The comment that just popped up here on the chat threw me off. It was one of those inside work things, and I was just like, "Oh shit!"
Okay, so, fair enough.
Well, what these teams have done for this. Listen, I had a conversation about this not all that long ago, a month and a half ago, about the revitalization of the city of Detroit, and it's not just the investment from different companies and things. Like, the sports teams should be credited for this. And like, I had real big issues when they were talking about building a new football stadium, building a new baseball stadium, building a new hockey and basketball arena, like joint arena for both. I'm like, man, we don't need this shit. Our venues are perfectly fine. You know, the Palace of Auburn Hills, we have we have raved about it. What an amazing venue that was.
I wish it was still around.
The Silver Dome, and even though it had its issues, man, that was an iconic building. Joe Louis Arena, and we can say the same thing. Why would they not just put that kind of money into upgrading these buildings instead of building brand new ones? Well, now I can see why. I see what's happened, and the fact that the success of our sports teams have generated this kind of revitalization into the city of Detroit, Michigan. I get it now, and I embrace it. I'm not necessarily over the top thrilled about it because all of these venues have since been torn down, but they're going to live in our history, in the lore of our history and our fandom.
So I have one question for you, Jason.
Yeah.
Since Tim had to go tinkle again, if you could have one sports venue still, what one would it be out of the four?
The Silverdome, 100%.
Really? Well, I would have not expected that,
bro. I don't know what it was about that.
I never went to the Silverdome, so I can't say it. I've only been to Ford Field. I've been to Ford Field, Comerica Park, the Joe, and the Palace of Auburn Hills. So those are the four I've been to.
Hide Tim's beer.
He'll know. I'll do this. Hold on.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
Okay, we're back. But so you said the Silverdome. I wish I could have been there because that's where Barry played and all that. I wish I could have seen that.
There was such an aura about that venue. Like when I was younger, we used to drive by it going to Royal Oak and shit like that, going down I-75. And I don't know, man. There was something mythical about that venue for me. Now, I'll be straight up. Part of my fanfare of that is because it hosted WrestleMania 3 and how regarded that event was, even to this day. It was Hogan and Andre, right? But
that was at Silverdome?
Yes. Yep.
Wow. Okay. So I see why you have. Okay.
But the fact, just the way the building was constructed, the fact that you had air holding up the roof, like it was just such an amazing venue. So if I could bring one back, 100%, it would be the Pontiac Silverdome.
Okay. So Tim, I asked Jason, out of the four, you had Tiger Stadium, you had Joe Louis, you had Silverdome, you had the Auburn Hills. What one would you bring back if you could?
It depends on
your beer's over there. I put an empty can in there. That's about empty too.
You're a fucking dick.
I had to change it up.
I'm
dude.
like, why is this beer like gone? I thought I had a little bit left. Anyway, so it depends on what aspect we're talking about.
What one would you bring back? The one you like the most? I don't know if you've been to all four before they redid them.
I have been to all four.
Okay.
When you're talking nostalgia, Tiger Stadium, even though Comerica Park
it's a nicer stadium.
It's a better stadium. You know what I mean? It's a better park. But nostalgic purposes, I mean, that one could be on the list of wanting to come back. The Silverdome, I'd never actually been there for a Lions game, but I went to a few monster truck rallies there, and the Silverdome was nice, had a lot of history to it, but it was also very, very outdated by the time that I went there. You know what I mean? Like it was due for an upgrade. The one that I personally missed the most, and maybe it's a little bit of selfishness in the fact that it would only take me 25 minutes to get there, is the Palace. Yeah. It would be nice to go catch a Pistons game and drive 25 minutes. You know what I mean? Just straight up 24. And also, I've said this many a times on the show, the Palace was one of my favorite fucking places to go see concerts at. The acoustics in that building were fucking amazing. Like it sounded so good in there. And I've been to concerts down at LCA already. The acoustics at LCA fucking suck. It does not sound anywhere near as good as what the Palace did, but that's on, a concert level, not so much a sports level. So that when you're talking sports, the history wise, it'd have to be for me, Tiger Stadium, the history there. You know what I mean? It's Tiger Stadium. And I went there as a kid, you know what I mean? Just like I went to the Palace as a kid, but that would have to be my pick, would be Tiger Stadium or the Joe. I mean, I didn't even bring up the Joe. I went to one of the last games at the Joe.
So did I.
It would have to be a toss up between Tiger Stadium or the Joe. And like you brought up just a little bit ago, all the sports teams being down in Detroit now. There's something to that. Those teams need to be in the city, but the Joe is so historical, and there's
that was in the city still. It was just more. It was towards the water.
Yeah, it was more towards the water, but it was still in the city, and just like another historical place. A lot of championships won there, and it's I'd have to say Tiger Stadium.
Okay, so here's Tiger Stadium. Okay,
but a close second would be the Joe. I think LCA would be a better place to go watch hockey at, to be honest. Like I've been there in concerts. I haven't went and seen hockey there yet, or basketball. But I really think they did a good job with that. It's just, it gets a little sketchy when you get up into those second levels and shit, and you're looking straight down. It's like, holy fuck.
Yep. So
that's where we sat for Monday Night Raw, and you were like looking down through the lighting grid, and it was steep, like Silver Dome steep. You know what I mean? It was. I don't like being up there at all. I feel like I'm going to fall forward.
Yep. So that was more of a question for you guys, because I've only been, out of all four, I was at the Joe and I was at the Palace. Palace was great and all that, but the atmosphere when you walked into the Joe, it's Joe Louis for me. There was something different in that building. All the championships, the playoff games, the March 27th, all that, just you could feel it in the air when you walked in there. Like, hey, this is the home of the Detroit Red Wings, original 6, 11 Stanley Cups. You knew where you were at when you walked in that fucking building, period. There was just something different going up those stairs into that building. So for me, it was a Joe. But like I said, I've only been out of 2 out of the 4. So, but I also was last year at the Joe. I seen the Red Wings, and then the first year at LCA, I seen them, and it's pretty nice at LCA.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. The one, and I bring this back, the one that didn't make any sense to me about building a new stadium, because obviously, the Joe. Last time I was there, it was outdated. You know what I mean? It was older. The fucking, why can't I say the
Palace?
The Palace. No, the Palace is the one that doesn't make as much sense to me, because the Palace was not outdated at all. It wasn't that old of a place. You know what I mean? Like you go on. Yeah, it was fucking beautiful. You know what I mean? Like the Palace was absolutely beautiful. Everywhere else that Detroit, the Tiger Stadium was, outdated. Everything else was getting a little bit to be outdated. You know what I mean? They had nostalgia. It was history there. You know what I mean? It sucks to see them move, but at the same time, the Palace is the one that bothered me the most, because it was still up to date. Every time I went there, it was still a beautiful arena. You know what I mean? It was just, I don't know if it was, they didn't feel like they were drawing enough because it was outside. Yeah, the Palace was sold for the property money, and they built that place fucking up. I think GM or somebody built a huge fucking plant down there.
Old Pistons player is building a plant there. Yeah. I don't know who it is, but it is for building the GMC GMC electric trucks or something like that.
Yeah, but that already that's done now.
Yeah.
Anyways, all those people got laid off, I heard. So, but I heard actually they're at that thing. I heard that wasn't to build something; it was to supply all the dealers with parts and shit. I think it was a parts depot.
Yeah, who knows? We're not talking about
Jason
GMC crap. We're talking about sports.
I think they're going to supply all the. I mean, you can't talk about sports without talking about the automotive industry in Michigan, because obviously, the Fords own fucking.
You're right.
Detroit.
You're right.
You know what I mean? It's automotive history. I mean, the fucking Pistons are called the Pistons because of a piston. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And the horses, a lot of horses in them Pistons, though.
Yeah. What the fuck do horses have anything to do with pistons?
Horsepower, pistons. Come on.
Sure. Fuck the horses. But anyways, yeah. I go back. I don't know, the Palace.
Okay.
I missed the Palace. I wish it was still standing.
I feel that.
Last time I went there, I went and seen the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Fucking amazing.
Oh, man. That's on my bucket list.
Oh, they're so fucking good. So good.
No, I would love to see them in concert. Hey,
you know who I wish?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Eric.
No, you go. You go, Jason.
Real quick trivia. Do you know what the first event at the Palace was? The very
Backstreet Boys.
Event? No, Jesus Christ.
No, hold on. He said the Backstreet Boys.
What was it?
Was it the Spice Girls?
Yes.
No.
Then who was it? No. What was it?
Bill Cosby.
Oh, no shit. I feel bad for a lot of women there.
Just saying.
I like how Jason remembers that one.
I know the most stupidest trivia there ever was. I don't know.
You know what I wish was at the Palace?
What's that?
You know, I wish we could see at the Palace and the Jake Paul fight, the new one. That'd be a good spot for it.
That would. No, because it doesn't exist. So it would just be in an empty parking lot in the fucking winter time. Because the fight's in December.
I know. I'm trying to
December 19th.
I'm trying to transition a little bit into the fight.
Versus Anthony Joshua. And I've been bringing this one up at work. And I think that's what we're transitioning into right now. So we're out of that topic and straight into this fucking fight. Because who's Jake Paul supposed to fight? Tank Davis. And then all of a sudden that fight just kind of flopped out. And with a month to go, Jake Paul goes, what would be a smart idea for me to do? Oh, let's sign a fight with Anthony Joshua, the former two-time heavyweight champion of the world that's still somewhat in his prime. He's only 36 years old, and he's a fucking towering beast of a man. He's still an active fighter.
Wow.
And I'm
surprised he took that fight.
I know. Like, Anthony Joshua ain't no joke. We saw him fight Ngannou last year, and he just kind of kicked the shit out of Ngannou. And Ngannou's not no joke either. Like, when it comes to MMA, he was like the top dog in the heavyweight
he's in some trouble
for a while. But Jake Paul to take this fight, this is one of those fights where everybody, that I've been talking to about it, they just automatically assume like, well, Jake Paul had to pay him off. And I'm like, no, this is an actual sanctioned professional fight. You know what I mean? This isn't some like bullshit, that he went up against Mike Tyson, who's a 60-year-old dude. He's fighting a professional active heavyweight, who is a former two-time heavyweight champion. This is going to be a real fight, and this is going to be the truest test for Jake Paul yet. This is going to let us know how real Jake Paul is. And I know we've discussed this many a times, Jason, how I think you and I both agree that Jake Paul's a hell of an athlete, and I think he's for real. You know what I mean? Like, he trains all year round. He's put everything he's had into it. I mean, both the brothers are, fucking hella good athletes. You even look back at Logan when he fought Floyd Mayweather. There's argument that he may have won that fight. If it wasn't an exhibition, you know what I mean? If it was a true fight, maybe the scorecards would be different. But this one is not an exhibition. This is a true sanctioned heavyweight bout. Jake Paul is finally going to get his first, like, in my opinion, I mean, not his first because he fought Tommy Fury and he lost that one.
But legit fighter. That's still in his
Tommy Fury is a legit fighder. That was the only other active professional fighter that he fought, and he lost it. But that was a few years ago. He's got a few more years of experience down his belt. He's put on a little bit of weight. Obviously, that's helped to pick up a little bit of power. We all know that he can have, the ability for the one-punch knockout. Like, Jake Paul is a heavy hitter. But I've always said Jake Paul's for real. This is the truest test. But I think it was a bad choice by Jake Paul, myself personally. I don't think going up to fighting Anthony Joshua right now was the right move. I mean, this is a guy who's been fighting all his life. This is a guy who's proved himself. He's a two-time world heavyweight champion. Unified heavyweight champion. I mean, he's the real fucking deal. How do you guys feel about this one?
I think Jake Paul's going to get beat in the second round. I think he'll last the first one because he's a legit fighter. He trains like a legit fighter, but I think he's just trying to fill the card quickly. And he asked, what's his name?
Anthony Joshua. That's
still, like you said, kind of in his prime, and he's only 36 years old. And I think he's going to meet his match.
And theoretically, in your mid-30s is about when most people hit their prime in boxing.
That's what I mean? True. So I honestly think Jake Paul is going to be in more trouble than he's ready for. I think this is going to be a real test for him, and I don't think he's going to be ready for it. Or unless he trains really hard, and I think he will.
I mean, this is the thing. He's been training for Tank Davis for the last few months to get ready for this fight. And then that fight fell through, and then all of a sudden he's got 1 month to go. And
he better turn this month on to really fucking get ready.
But to put this in your brain before you answer that question, Jason.
Well, Jason didn't get to answer the question. Interrupted him.
Well, no, I want to put this out there also. I mean, Jake Paul has been training, obviously for a different fighter, but all of a sudden with a month to go, he's been consistently training through this to get ready for a fight. Anthony Joshua has to come into the thing with 1 month notice. So he gets a 4-week fight camp. Does that make a difference? Jason, I want all your opinions on this.
I have a couple of thoughts with this. First of all, we were preparing for Jake versus Tank. Like that was the whole marketing thing behind it. Netflix has been filming the behind the scenes documentary on this fight. And Tim, from being in the wrestling business, there is that tag card subject to change. And if you have to make a change on the card, you want to make it better than what the original one, what the original attraction was. We've seen that throughout the course of professional wrestling history. You've been on shows, I've been on shows, I've done shows where we've had to make a change based on what was advertised to what match we actually got in the ring. That's what we're seeing here with this Jake Paul situation. For whatever reason, Tank is out. I didn't hear what the reasonings why. I just know that a change has been made. So when you bring in a two-time former heavyweight champion of the world to replace him, well, on paper, this makes it a much more interesting matchup. And we other people, insiders, experts, followers who dedicate all of their focus and attention on boxing and things of this nature, they're talking about this. Is this the bigger attraction? Now, my other point is, was this done out of ego? Because Jake Paul has been very successful. And I think what we saw in terms of the outing he had with Mike Tyson, I wonder how much of that has fueled his subconscious, his ego. He feels like he is untouchable. He feels like he is unbeatable, and I can appreciate that. But to what you're saying, we're going to find out how legit he is, not how serious he's taken this, because he's taken this very seriously, but how good is he really? When you talk about this fight that's coming up, and you're absolutely right, even though um, there's only a month out before this fight, both competitors have been training in some regard. Now with Jake Paul, I don't think his approach is going to be any different than what he has been doing. On the other side, that's where it gets kicked up a notch. But you're talking about a guy who, as we have documented, former champion of the world. This is not his first rodeo. I would like to think that he's kept himself in shape, and now he's even more motivated to make a definitive statement. Eric said a second round knockout of Jake Paul. I don't think that's out of the question. Yeah, I really don't. Experience goes a long way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
Especially with fighting. That's the most technical sport out there.
I don't know. Personally, I could see a third or fourth round stoppage of some point. Um, but it's going to be interesting. And I was going to watch the fight anyway, but now I'm even more interested to see how both these guys adjust with a very limited window of time before they climb into the ring.
Maybe me and Tim will get together and we'll watch the fight and he'll drink some whiskey.
Well, we tried that the last time, but these fights go on so fucking late. But
that is true. That is very true. I was falling asleep by 10 o'clock.
My whole thing with this fight is changing fighters. Obviously, when he signed on to fight Tank Davis was smaller than him. So you're training a little bit different. Now all of a sudden you go against Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is like a fucking giant compared to Jake Paul. He's probably got
a lot more reach.
8-9 inches on him, so he has a ton more reach. So Jake Paul is going to be the undersized fighter in this one. Probably one of the first times in his fucking career that he has to be the undersized fighter, and he's going to have to learn to work from the inside there. So he's going to be taking some shots in this fight, and Anthony Joshua ain't a bitch. Like, he can hit, you know what I mean? So this is going to be a completely different style of fight. This is, one of those ones that, when he went against Mike Tyson, all of us had that little bit of nostalgia in our minds where we want to see Mike Tyson kick the shit out of him, but we also saw almost a 60-year-old Mike Tyson go to fight, a 30-something-year-old dude. Even if Jake Paul's 30 now, he might only still be in his late 20s.
I think he's in his late 20s still.
But so that was a little one-sided, and we didn't quite get the Tyson that we were hoping to get. You know what I mean? We didn't get the Tyson that we saw fight a couple years before that. He was obviously dealing with some injuries. He got injured during camp, and we didn't even know if he was going to make that fight. But he still ended up making it. I don't feel like his heart was in it either way. No. Watching the fight, but this is one of those fights that I think is very dangerous for Jake. And I hope Jake does good in it? Sure, because I've been saying this since the beginning. I think Jake is the real deal. Not only the real deal as a boxer, but he's also the real deal in promoting the sport and bringing limelight back to the sport of boxing. He's building boxing back up. We saw that with this previous all women's card that turned out to be a huge success on Netflix. We saw that with this last card on Netflix. Like, he's bringing limelight back to boxing. He's making it cool again, and I give him all the credit in the world for that, because boxing was a dying sport. MMA, the UFC pretty much took him out of notoriety. And now all of a sudden Jake Paul is bringing it back. He was doing it in a weird way. He was fighting former MMA fighters. He was fighting retired boxers. Obviously he fought Mike Tyson. It was, almost a 60-year-old man. But this time, like, he's stepping in the ring with like a true fucking like legend of a fucking heavyweight fighter that is still in his prime, compared to, like, he fought Tommy Fury and lost. And Tommy Fury is a good fighter, but Tommy Fury is not on the level of being heavyweight champion. You know what I mean? Obviously his brother is, but he wasn't at that level yet, and he lost that fight. So I want to see how he transitions into this. And this is going to be a big stepping point for people really taking Jake serious. If he can find some way to win this fight, that should put him up in there, in the realm of boxing, for them to go, hey, this dude is the real deal. Let's put him in a more high profile fight. Let's talk about title fights at this point in time, because I think this is a stepping stone for him moving towards that direction. But he needs to find a way to do this. And with Anthony Joshua only having, a fucking 4-week training camp, it's going to be tough for him. I saw some video of him. The dude's still in shape. I mean, he stays in shape. But there's a difference between being in shape and being in fighting shape. We obviously know that from being in the ring for years. There's a difference between being in, shape and being in ring shape. You can look like you're in ring shape and not be able to last 5 minutes out there, or you can look like you're the fucking out of shape, like have no fucking excuse to be in the ring, but you're in fucking excellent shape, and people don't realize that. That's why big guys always get away with it, because people don't realize how much in shape they are. Like the being in the ring is completely different than being anywhere else, whether it's wrestling or boxing. You know what I mean? But I'd like to see. I mean, honestly, I'm rooting for Jake Paul in this, to be honest. Like, and I don't know how it's going to turn out. I've always been a fan of Jake Paul. Jake Paul is a cocky son of a bitch, and that's why most people don't like him. But what they don't understand, he's not really that cocky. He plays the game. He knows what brings in the ratings. He knows what gets. No,
Tim just upset me. We need to get in the next subject.
No, you have to
upset me.
No. Listen.
I don't want to listen to you right now.
No, just fucking listen.
I don't want to.
The exact reaction you just gave me right now is exactly what Jake Paul wants, and that's why he acts the way he acts.
I don't watch it, so I don't give him his credit.
He is not that way. Like, did you watch the whole fucking thing on what was it, on Max or whatever, the fucking Paul series that they had with him and Logan, Jason?
I did not know.
It's actually a cool little series. Me and Amy watched it all, but you actually get to see the inside look at both the brothers. And, they act all cocky and they do shit like that, but it's all just to get people talking. You know what I mean? That's not who they are. It's the same thing in the wrestling world. Jason can contest to this. We did things in the wrestling world to make people hate us or like us. You know what I mean? We played characters. Right now. We played characters. Well, I understand. We played characters. You know what I mean? And we knew how to rile up a crowd. That's what Jake Paul does. He loves boxing. He wouldn't spend as much time and energy into boxing. It's part of the thing. Do I want to see him have success?
You're going on your rants.
Well, that's a fucking good thing. Do I want to see him have success? Yes, because it's better for the sport of boxing if he has success, because he's the one who's bringing fucking boxing back to the limelight. I'll finish there because you're sick of fucking hearing it, apparently.
Well, no, we have other things to talk about. Like, we got to talk about the Tigers signing Can't remember his name because now y'all got me flustered.
Scott just brought up Cade's back in the lineup tonight.
Good,
So-
good. That makes me happy. You're still flustered me. Who in the Tigers signed, Jason? You'll know more than I will.
Gleyber Torres.
There it is. That's a big thing for them right there.
Absolutely. He is. I was real happy when I saw that come down the wire.
Yep.
This afternoon.
Because he played good for us all year, even when they were going through that slump.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
that was a key piece to
it was.
maintain.
I think they're going to try to get a couple more key pieces throughout the year to really make a push and all that. Who knows what they'll do with Scooball? Getting that Cy Young and all that. They're gonna talk to him. They're gonna see what they can do. But I'm hoping. But we'll see what happens.
I have a feeling he's going to be playing for the Dodgers, the Mets,
Right.
or the Yankees next year.
You could then you get your money's worth, and you worry about the franchise, and you worry about bringing more players than just one that can help us win a World Series. Because I have not seen the Tigers win a World Series yet. I would like to see that. I've seen the Pistons win, and I've seen the Red Wings win. I would like to see the Tigers and the Lions win one before I go. Granted, I'm only 32, but you never know when you're going to go. So you got to live every day like it's your last.
I remember the last time the Tigers won the World Series.
Yeah.
I was here for it. You know what I mean? Tim, was that the year you were born?
That it was.
84.
So I don't remember it. Yeah, I don't remember it, but it was a good year. It was a great year. It
was an okay year.
It was this year. This badass motherfucker right here was born.
That's why it was an okay year. But Jason, how did we do this week in the NFL picks? I'm very nervous about this because I know I've tried to pick some upsets and they did not go well. Oh, God.
10 and 5.
Okay, I'll take that.
Went ahead.
Me and you tied. I'll take that. Tim, fuck you, Tim. I don't want to talk about it. Fuck.
Oh, and there's a few games that I wish I could have had back there, to be honest.
Granted, we skipped the subject. Pull up the top 25. That was my fault. I wanted to get ahead and see what I did. Eric got ahead. I apologize, folks. Top 25. Let's see, because it's coming down to the wire.
All right, here is your top 25 for the.
There's my boys right at number 1.
Number 1, Ohio State. 2, Indiana. 3, Texas A&M. 4, Alabama. 5, Georgia. 6, Texas Tech. 7, Ole Miss. 8, Oregon. 9, fuck Notre Dame. 10, Texas. 11, Oklahoma. I don't know if you caught any of the Oklahoma-Alabama game on Saturday. I did.
I did not.
Holy shit.
That good of a game? Damn, I wish I would have watched it.
I was thoroughly amused by that game. But with that, Oklahoma has dropped out of the top 10. 12 is BYU. 13 Utah, 14 Vanderbilt, 15 Miami of Florida, 16 Georgia Tech. USC is 17, Michigan's at 18, 19 is Virginia, 20 is Louisville, 21 Iowa, 22 Pittsburgh, 23 Tennessee, 24 South Florida, and 25 is Cincinnati.
Okay.
It's all going to lead down, and we have to make mention of this because on November the 29th, Eric and I are going to be live on location in Holly for the Michigan Ohio State game. We're going to be at Taylor's Tavern beginning at 11:45. We're going live on the air to broadcast during that game. But Ohio State and Indiana seems to be the top 2 teams. The anticipated showdown coming into the latter part of this season. It's just a couple of weeks away, man.
It is. Reality, that Michigan Ohio State game, people are not realizing that could really determine Ohio State's season because it don't matter what you're ranked and all that. We weren't even ranked last year, and we went into Columbus and beat them 13-10.
Yeah.
It does not in that game like we said, Michigan State rival games. It does not matter because it's a different atmosphere and players just come. It brings out the best in players, and it makes me really realize those two defensive tackles Michigan had that controlled that game really set the tone for that game last year. So, Michigan's defense has been playing better down the stretch. Is that going to happen again for them? Are they going to go into, that game and control Ohio State's offense that I haven't heard been putting up the numbers like they were last year? I know they're winning, but I know it's not like they're impressive wins.
They're not putting up 60, 70 points per game right now.
Exactly, or even 50. So it's like, can Michigan really control the game again by defense? Because at the end of the day, defense wins championships, but it does help you win games when you can go in there and stop what they're doing. And especially for that amount of just the rival, what's all on the line for that game. It does, like Ohio State even last year. They think it's a down year because they won national championship, but they didn't beat Michigan.
Right.
So it's just like that game means everything to those two teams. And what will that come? But I want to see the conference championship between Ohio State and Indiana. That's what I want to see. That's going to be a hell of a game. That's going to be one hell of a game.
It's that's been the one thing that has really floored me this year with college football. The number 2 school in the country is the fucking Indiana Hoosiers.
I would have never guessed that.
Never in a million.
But Michigan and Indiana could make it where Ohio State does not have a home playoff game.
Yeah.
And that would be huge for them being ranked number 1 throughout pretty much the whole year.
Yeah, it's going to be we're going to be breaking all that down live on location on November the 29th. Taylor's Tavern in Holly, Michigan. Come out, watch the game with Eric and I. Tim unfortunately has responsibilities elsewhere on that particular day. I fucking hate that, but you look like you might be a little sick that day, Tim. I don't mind telling you.
I thought about that, but showing up live on a fucking live podcast that day would not really turn out very good.
Probably not. But
especially when your boss watches the show.
That is true. But side note is, I did watch the Georgia-Texas game.
Mm-hmm.
Texas is not even close to the real deal. Archie Manning, out of all the Mannings right now, he's not living up to that name. I'll say that. He did not play well at all.
To be honest with you, Peyton never lived up to the name in his first season in the NFL. So sometimes it takes time to
look at what he did at Tennessee, and look at what Eli did at Ole Miss. Just saying, he did not play very well against Georgia, but granted, Georgia's a very good team.
It's always sometimes what's around you too. You know what I mean?
Fair. That's fair. But the Texas Longhorns were number 1 the start of the season, and they have not held up that
I'll never put
that expectation.
I'll never put a curse on the Manning name.
Okay, we're gonna end this conversation.
If it wasn't for Peyton,
Tim went 10-5.
If it wasn't for Peyton, killing the curse of Bobby Lane, the Lions would have never gone anywhere.
It could be true. But
he also just went in and killed Buffalo's curse this year too. So
that is true. So we'll see what happens. Maybe somehow it'll be a Buffalo Detroit Super Bowl. Now we're transitioning to the NFL. Your ass went 10-5 again. So fuck you.
Can we play that graphic one more time? Real quick? I want to see what.
I want to see it.
See what awesomeness.
Look how ugly he looks.
Fucking. Oh fuck bitch. Yeah! Look at that.
Fucking
Tim 10-5, 106 over 58.
Fucking.
I'm so good at this.
There's still quite a few weeks left. You can fuck
games
up.
Left. I mean, unless we carry this over into the postseason as well, but I might be so far ahead by the postseason comes, it won't matter.
I hate him.
Tim's getting a free dinner. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, well,
all right. Is this where we transition to the NFL?
We got
yeah, a little bit.
Did you use both sides of the paper this time?
I don't know. We'll have to fucking wait and find out.
Okay, well, I'm hoping you did.
Maybe I did. Maybe I decided because it's a 2-hour show this week that I would actually do 2 sides of the paper. But last week
you did. This is 2 weeks in a row, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. I am so happy.
Which I don't feel like it worked out. Yeah, that's the button. Stop hitting the fucking buttons. You don't have to fucking hit. Yeah, there we go.
Thank you, Jason.
Jason's got a button too.
I had to prime it up. I just like hit buttons.
Yeah, I decided though that I'm only going to do the full 2 sheets every other week because
That's fair because we have 2
time
hours
crunch.
show.
So let's get in the NFL. It was a good week in the NFL. I watched a lot of football this week. There was a lot of really good games. I think the standout game, I'll tell you when's coming up, but the standout game was actually the Bucks and the Bills. But we'll tell you
that was a very good game.
The results.
Josh Allen did Josh Allen things.
Yeah, he did.
And he beat 2 records and tied one.
Yeah, Josh Allen was fucking phenomenal.
I hope you know who those records were, but you probably don't because you're a bitch.
I'm a bitch. Fucking tick. Fuck is wrong with you?
Continue with your stats.
Anyways, we had a big Thursday night matchup. The Patriots and the Jets. This one I think went exactly how we all thought it was going to go.
It was a little bit more exciting than I thought it would be, though. The Jets.
I went with the Jets
in the first half. Yeah, I know you did. You picked the wrong team there, my guy.
How are you even going to pick a guy? I mean, the Patriots are back.
Jason. Yeah.
Like the Patriots are back.
I was going the underdog.
I picked a couple upsets too. No, I know the feeling. I know the feeling.
I mean, and I don't blame you because there's been a lot of upsets this year, so it's really hard to call it. Like you try to sneak in an upset, because there's been so many of them, and it just kind of bites you in the ass.
Ass.
Especially after the Jets have went on a 2-game winning streak, and then all of a sudden have to go up against the Patriots. But I still couldn't bet against the Patriots because Drake May. I mean, there was MVP chance in that stadium there. Thursday nights because Drake May's having a hell of a year as a rookie. Patriots 27, Jets 14. Drake May 281 yards passing, 1 touchdown. Henderson 62 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Diggs 105 yards receiving. So he had over 100-yard games right after having a baby with Cardi B. Because I heard their baby was born this past week. I think he's got 3 other girls that are pregnant too at the same time right now. So he's gonna have a lot of babies.
He's a Tyreek Hill kind of guy.
Yeah, like what the fuck, dude? He had 4 girls pregnant at the same time. One of them just happened to be Cardi B. I don't know how she's handling that shit. Jets side. Fields, which looks like might be his last starting.
They're starting Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, they're starting Tyrod Taylor. But Fields 116 yards passing, 1 touchdown. He also had 67 yards rushing, 1 touchdown. And then Mechie the third, 45 yards receiving, 1 touchdown. I mean, that doesn't make sense the way that came up with my things. I think Fields had 1 touchdown. Mechie had 1 touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
No, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, because Fields ran for a touchdown.
Yeah, and then he passed for 1 touchdown.
Yep.
Tim Mechie. Next game, Dolphins 16, Commanders 13. I think how do we pick this game? I can't remember this one. I was questioning this one.
What game are we talking?
Dolphins, Commanders.
Dolphin. Yeah, we all chose Miami.
Okay, so we were all smart on this one. Just knew that the Commanders haven't really been shit this year. They've been kind of down.
Yeah, they're definitely sophomore slump. You're right. I'll give you that. You called that this year.
Yeah.
But he also is hurt too. But
yeah.
Continue.
Dolphins 16 over the Commanders 13. Tua went 171 yards passing. A-Chain 120 yards rushing, and Waddle 52 yards receiving. Mariota 213 yards passing, 1 touchdown. Rodriguez Jr. 79 yards rushing, and then Deebo Samuel went 74 yards receiving, 1 touchdown. Not a super exciting game, but the Dolphins stuck away with the win. The next game, one of Jason's favorite games of the week, the Panthers 30 over the Falcons 27.
We both picked this one wrong because I know he picked the Panthers.
Did we both pick Atlanta?
We went Atlanta. He went Panthers. I was not expecting that upset.
And I should have knew better because the Panthers are actually doing fucking pretty decent this year.
Yeah, they're doing better than
the last few years.
Yeah, they're
well.
putting stuff together, and they just need a couple more pieces, and they'll be a contender.
Well, wait to hear these fucking numbers Bryce Young put up this week.
Let's hear these numbers, Bryce Young.
Bryce Young 448 yards passing, 3 touchdowns.
Fuck.
He went the fuck off this week. Dowdle 45 yards rushing, and then McMillan 130 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns. On the Falcons side, Penix Jr. 175 yards passing, Bijan Robinson 140 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, and then London 119 yards receiving. Good game by the Panthers. Hopefully they just keep it up. You know what I mean? They're headed in the right direction finally.
Yes.
One more draft away, maybe they can start becoming contenders. I don't know if they're there yet.
They'll be a thorn in your ass, though.
Yeah, they're definitely
one or two more drafts. They're going to be like, yeah, we can't take these guys lightly anymore.
Yeah, they're definitely being a thorn in a lot of people's asses this year. They're kind of hanging in there. What is their record, by the way? Can you look that up while I look at the next game real quick? The next game was my game of the week. It was the Bills 44 over the Bucks 32. This was an exciting game.
You're fucking right about that.
This was a lot of fun to watch. Josh Allen, 317 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. He also had 40 yards rushing and another 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I was going to say, hold on. I'm like, he had 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Fucking
3 of them rushing, 3 of them passing.
What in the fuck is this man doing?
Cook, 48 yards rushing, and then Shavers, 90 yards receiving, 1 touchdown. I don't even know who
Tim,
that guy
to
is.
answer your question, the Panthers are 6-5 in second place in the NFC South.
God, they're over
the South.
500.
The South is fucking ridiculous.
Halfway through the season, they're over 500 in second place. I think they're sitting pretty fucking good right now.
Yeah.
Get to the Bucks. Baker, 173 yards passing, 1 touchdown. Tucker, 106 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, and then Shepard, 54 yards receiving. Once again, Josh Allen did Josh Allen thing.
You know what I love about Josh Allen, though?
The report, he's a badass.
That too, but the reporter brought up that he broke Peyton Manning's record, someone else's record, then tied Cam Newton's. He goes, he's like, what does that? How does that make you? Or like, what does that make you feel, or something like that? He goes, I'm just doing my job.
Yeah.
Then it says he's so humble about it. It's like that's why I love Josh Allen. It's like he just stays humble. He's playing football. He's a kid from Wyoming that had no chance. No college looked at him. Sent out the tapes to everyone. Wyoming. He went to a D2. Wyoming gave him a chance. Now he's the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, and he's just happy to be there, and he just wants to play football. That's it, and that's why I like him. Out of all, like it's just,
I just love his sense of humor too.
Yeah, he's hilarious. He's hilarious, and he's just if he was with us on this podcast, he'd be just like normal guy.
Yeah, he'd be cracking jokes, and he's just a down. Like I love Josh Allen. I'm not a Bills fan. My wife is. Amy's a fucking Bills fan now. Like she's progressed into being a Bills fan because of
Josh Allen fan. Yeah,
but that slowly turned her into a Bills fan. It's just
the humbleness. That's why it's the humbleness of NFL players. It's like that's what I love. Like hometown hero Calvin Johnson. That's why I loved him so much because he was just humble. He just went out, played the game, didn't brag about blah blah blah. Was humble. But
that's the same reason we love Aiden Hutchinson.
Exactly. Like they're just humble. But continue with your stats.
Guys. Next game, Jaguars 35 over the Chargers 6.
We all picked this one wrong. I know that.
The Chargers got their fucking asses handed to them in this game.
By the Jaguars, what we never expected.
Didn't see this one coming. Lawrence, 153 yards passing, 1 touchdown. Tootin, 74 yards rushing, 1 touchdown. Myers, 64 yards receiving. Not big numbers put up there. But then again, the Chargers, Herbert, 81 yards passing. He had 21 yards rushing. And then Allen, 53 yards receiving. They had 2 field goals in that game. Like they just got the shit kicked out of them.
They were not ready.
Jaguars are slowly keeping pace down there too. You know what I mean? Like they've turned around a little bit this year. They're not there yet, but they've had some big wins this year, and they're starting to play better football. I thought the Chargers were there too, but obviously they just got their asses handed to them, which goes to show you that anybody can get their asses handed to them any day of the week. You have one off week and you're shit in the bed. Next game, Bears find a way to do it again. Bears 19, Vikings 17. Sitting at the halfway point of the season, did any of us really think that the Bears would be sitting on top of the NFC North?
Nope.
Nope.
Not at all.
Especially the way the season started. Like we were all going, how much longer before Ben Johnson gets fired?
And I was hoping it was going to happen, but it's not.
Yeah. And now all of a sudden they're sitting on top of the fucking North. Caleb Williams, 193 yards passing. Swift, 90 yards rushing. Komet, 45 yards receiving. Viking side, JJ went for 150 yards passing, 1 touchdown. Aaron Jones, 70 yards rushing, and Justin Jefferson, 61 yards receiving.
You could see the frustration on Justin Jefferson's face this game, and he's over it. Yeah. He's getting very frustrated in Minnesota.
They're very up and down, but I mean, hands off to Ben Johnson and the Bears. Didn't see him sitting here.
I did not. But question, Jason, if you could look up how many years Justin Jefferson has on his contract as he goes into the next game. I'm curious about this.
I mean, that's a good point, Scott. I was going to bring that up. They've been doing this by beating bad teams.
That's very true.
They haven't beaten any good fucking teams yet. So we don't know what they are until they start facing some good teams. I don't know what their schedule is. I pay more attention to the Lions schedule than anybody's. But eventually they're going to get humbled, and usually it comes in the second half of the year as the matchup starts getting a little bit tougher. But I don't anticipate they're going to be sitting on top of the North, but I'm impressed by the fact that, Ben Johnson in his first year going there, fresh start, is sitting on top of the North, halfway through the season there. It's impressive, from starting out, the season and going how much longer before he's fired to all of a sudden sitting on top of that North after halfway. Hats off to him. I was never a Ben Johnson hater other than the fact that he went to a division rival. Only reason why I was pissed off at him, he could have went anywhere and he went there. But he's doing things there. What's Jason looking up? I missed it because I was talking.
How many years Justin Jefferson has left on his contract? But
continue with your game. While you're looking that up, next game, Packers 27 over the Giants 20. Packers is another one. They're sitting at number 2 in the division right now. Love 174 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Jacobs 40 yards rushing. Dobbs 53 yards receiving over the Giants. Jameis Winston 201 yards passing. Tracy Jr. 88 yards rushing, and Hodgins 57 yards receiving. No surprise the Giants lost it. They got a lot of injuries. Cam Scadaboo out. Jackson Dart out. They're just trying to hold together somewhat of a season. And they're not going to do much this season, but they have a lot to look up to too. Jackson Dart,
he's playing good.
He's playing really good.
Look like the quarterback they need there.
Yeah, I think he's the quarterback of their future. And Cam Scadaboo is a fucking absolute animal. In fact, I saw him on Monday Night Raw last night when he was mixing it up with people on Raw and getting pushed around. I'm like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah, he's
injured.
He's nuts.
Like, why the fuck are they pushing his ass? Like, if I was that team, I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Cam? Like, you just took a fucking massive push in that and your legs all fucked up. You're on a fucking little wheelie dealy thing rolling in the stadium and you're getting pushed around. Like, stupid fucking move, bro.
To answer the question on Justin Jefferson's contract, it goes through 2028. In 2029,
okay,
he's there.
Yeah, he has 3 more years there. He has 3 more years there. Okay.
And honestly, they're not that bad of a fucking team.
They're not
having a little bit of a rough year.
I have my my conspiracy theories about where he's going to go after that. That is up if they don't contract, give him an extension. But continue with your stats.
Go to the Chiefs. Next game, Steelers 34 over the Bengals 12. It was another one of those fucking old guy games.
Yep.
But one of the old guys got hurt, so he's not even in the fucking top statistics this week. Rudolph is at 127 yards passing, 1 touchdown because Aaron Rodgers went out a little early with a broken wrist or some shit, which I heard he's already trying to fight to play this coming up week. If
he doesn't need surgery, so he'll play this week.
Yeah, and it's on his non-throwing hands.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Warren, 62 yards rushing. Gainwell, 81 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns compared to the Bengals. Flacco, 199 yards passing, 1 touchdown. Brown, 99 yards rushing, and Higgins, 63 yards receiving, 1 touchdown, which I heard something, and I don't know how true it is, because sometimes you get those little fucking things on fucking Facebook and shit like that with the news. Something about Flacco might be looking at, possibly retiring because he might be getting benched after that game or some shit. Flacco can play till he's 80. Yeah. I mean, that guy, he still does really fucking well.
Continue.
Next game, Texans 16 over the Titans 13.
I fucking picked the Titans in this one, and I thought they were going to pull it off too.
How'd we pick this one?
You guys picked the Texans. I wanted to upset, and I didn't do it.
Eric and I went Titans, and Tim went Texans.
Damn, I'm just that good.
Shut up, bitch. Continue.
Mills, 274 yards passing, 1 touchdown. Marks, 44 yards rushing. And Nico Collins, 92 yards receiving, 1 touchdown. Titans, Cam Ward, 194 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 33 yards rushing also. And then, fuck this name. Akanaku.
We'll take it.
I 56 yards receiving, whatever. That game went exactly how I thought it was going to go. You guys obviously didn't think so.
Shut up.
Next game, 49ers, the return of Purdy. And what a hell of a return. 49ers 41 over the Cardinals 22. Wait till you hear these fucking numbers that the Cardinals put up to, and you went, they lost this game by that much? Brock Purdy, 200 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. McCaffrey, 81 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. And then George Kittle, 67 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns.
Damn.
Now you look at the Cardinal side, Jacoby Brissett, 452 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. And they only put up 22 points.
Jesus.
Like there's an issue in the red zone there.
Yeah.
Then you had Knight, 24 yards rushing. Wilson,
especially when you have one of the best tight ends in the league. Continue. Sorry about that.
And then Wilson, 185 yards receiving. Obviously, they had an issue, punching one in the red zone there.
Yeah, when you have one of the greatest tight ends in the league.
Yeah, like they need some work there, but the 49ers are back rolling it. That's another, the 49 Purdy's back. Even though I thought Mac Jones was doing, incredible for him, but I've always, stuck to the fact that the 49ers are such a QB-friendly program. You could slap anybody in that position, and they're going to look like superstars.
Sign me up, coach.
Yeah, I mean, you could put fucking Eric out there, and he'll at least complete 2 passes.
2 more than you, bitch. Continue.
I wouldn't throw passes. I'm more of a, defensive end or some shit.
That's fair.
Next game, Rams versus the Seahawks. How would we call this one before I get to the results?
I think we all chose the Rams.
I don't think so.
No. Tim chose the Rams. Eric and I went with Seahawks.
Damn it.
That's what I remember happening, but I wanted to double check because I said the Rams were due one here.
That's fair.
And I thought they were a little bit tougher. I honestly think the Rams are the most dangerous team in the NFC right now. Stafford is having his best year of his career right now.
Yes.
That guy's going off. I mean, there's MVP considerations there, and he might possibly.
He's number 1 for it right now.
And there was a thing put out there that Stafford's played 19 seasons and never been all pro.
Mm-hmm.
This might be his first year.
17 seasons, but
17 seasons. But might be his first year being an all pro.
He'll get an all pro for sure, but continue.
Stafford, 130 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. You're in such a hurry.
Well, we're running out of
We're
time.
44 minutes left. I got 5 picks left real quick.
Okay.
It'll take me fucking
5 games. 5 games.
5 games. Yeah. Stafford, 130 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Williams, 91 yards rushing, 1 touchdown. Nakua, 75 yards receiving. Seahawks, Darnold, 279 yards passing. Walker III, 67 yards rushing, 1 touchdown. And Smith and Jigba, 105 yards receiving. Rams did Ram things. They're dangerous. They're going to keep rolling. Next game, this was one of the worst games to watch of the week, I thought, but the Ravens pulled it off. Ravens 23, Browns 16. Lamar, 193 yards passing. Henry, 103 yards rushing, 1 touchdown. He finally broke 100 again. He's actually been picking it up a little bit. Flowers, 78 yards receiving compared to the Browns. Gabriel, 68 yards passing. Judkins, 59 yards rushing. And Tillman, 52 yards receiving. Another game that hurt me a little bit, that pissed me off on Sunday. The Broncos 22 over the Chiefs 19. Chiefs did not look.
Oh, Bo Nix, baby!
Yeah, that was just.
I'm gonna get me a Bo Nix jersey so I can wear it on this podcast just to piss you off.
I'll wear my Mahomes one because Mahomes is still the better quarterback.
It's clearly not. He didn't win.
Yeah, he didn't win.
Yeah, he didn't win, so he's not the better quarterback. The Chiefs are 0-5 in 1 possession games in this year, so that's not good.
Let's look at Mahomes' record against the Chiefs since he came into the league. I think it's 13-2.
You say the
Mahomes' record against the
Broncos. His record against the Chiefs would be very hard because he's played for the Chiefs.
Shut the fuck up. Let me finish what I'm saying. His record against the Broncos.
Well, you said the Chiefs first, so he's
13-2 against the Broncos.
That's not the Chiefs, though.
He's lost twice.
What is he against
lost
the Chiefs,
twice.
Though? He's lost twice against the Chiefs?
He beat the Chiefs, okay? If there's one quarterback out there that can beat the Chiefs, it's fucking Patrick Mahomes. He'd go out there. You could line up the defense with just Patrick Mahomes snapping it to himself, and he'd still find a way to beat him. He'd throw a fucking pass to himself, or he'd rush in for he'd just do it. Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback.
The Chiefs are not making the playoffs this year, ladies and gentlemen. They are not. I'm going to call
Chiefs are still going to the Super Bowl.
They're not. I'm going to call it. They're not even making the playoffs. This is their down year. It's over.
No, they're going to make the playoffs.
It's over.
You watch.
The dynasty's done.
You watch.
They suck.
I don't think so, Scott. Like, I'm still holding on faith here. Maybe it's just me holding on to faith. Maybe I'll be sadly disappointed, but
you will be sadly disappointed.
I still think they have a route. They're not going to win their division. I'll call that. This can be the first time that Mahomes did not win since Mahomes has been in the league, that they don't win the division. But I think
they didn't win the division the first year he was in there because he was on the bench.
They have a route there through the wild card.
It'll be the second year.
Well, I'm talking about since he's a starter. You
said
how to read. Learn how to fucking read.
You said
this
since he's been drafted.
Like
depends on what we're reading. We're reading Dr. Seuss. We're reading Dr. Seuss. I'm fine.
What the fuck? Yeah, learn how to read. Anyways, Broncos. Knicks went 295 yards passing.
Yeah.
30 yards rushing. Franklin 84 yards receiving. Compared to the Chiefs, Mahomes 276 yards passing, 1 touchdown.
Wow.
Hunt 59 yards rushing, 1 touchdown. Kelsey 91 yards receiving, 1 touchdown.
All those stats.
Got to give it up. Yeah, it's a fucking. It
was a tough. I will give it to them. It was a very tough game.
And granted, Broncos is probably the best defense in the league this year.
They are, and that's why they won the Super Bowl.
They're a tough team. They're going to win that division.
They're gonna play the Chiefs in the NFC or the AFC Championship game and spank them like they're a little brother.
I don't think they'd beat the Chiefs again. Like
I would put $1,000 they'd beat the Chiefs again.
You would probably lose that.
No, that's what you say, Chiefs boy.
There's a difference between Chiefs regular season play and Chiefs playoff play. Like
that's a fair statement. That's a fair statement.
And the Chiefs, I mean, honestly, you look at the team, it's a better team than they were last year when they went to the Super Bowl. All around. The defense is better. The offense has a lot more weapons. They're just missing something right now, and I still think they pull it together.
Wins. They're missing wins, duh.
They're missing, they're missing wins. They're just something's not clicking yet, but I still think it gets on and it clicks.
It's the Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift engagement.
I don't think so because Kelsey's having
flustered, man. They're all
Kelsey's having a better year than he's had in the last 3 years in a row.
Like Kelsey's having, makes sense. They're flustered.
Kelsey, can give all credit to him. He's 35, 36 years old, and he's having one of his best years in the last 10 years. Like Kelsey's turning it on this year.
Continue though.
Continue. Oh, fucking this one hurts. Eagles 16 over the Lions 9. Hurts 135 yards passing, 1 touchdown. Barkley 83 yards receiving or rushing. I'm sorry, Barkley 83.
It's a very defensive game. It was a very
Brown
defensive game.
49 yards receiving compared to Goff, who had 255 yards passing, 1 touchdown. Gibbs went 39 yards rushing and then 107 yards receiving. J-Mo went 88 yards receiving, 1 touchdown. Looking at the stats.
And costed us some points because he's an idiot.
He's a fucking idiot. Looking at the stats, the Lions should have won this game. 2 takeaways from this game for myself personally. The defense, once again, hands down, the defense played their fucking asses off. That beat up secondary, that fucking, the backups that are playing in that position played their asses off, and we should have probably capitalized on that, but our offense just did not, perform. But then again, I can also say that for the Eagles. The Eagles offense didn't fucking perform either. It was a very windy, cold day in Philly. Neither one of the offenses were going off. I put a little bit of this blame, and I'll never put a blame on Dan Campbell, but I do put a little bit of blame on him for this game, because if we would have just kicked a few of those fucking field goals in that opposite direction when the wind wasn't a factor, we would have won this fucking game. And I think he even admitted to that in his post-game press conference, that if we would have just kicked field goals in that position, we would have been in this game. But you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And our offense just was not performing. Jared Goff needed to take those fucking gloves off, because that was the one thing I said. He was playing with gloves on. It's like, just take them motherfuckers off. Like, you are missing passes left and right. And on top of that, fucking St. Brown has made some critical drops over the last few games, and I don't know what the fuck's going on with him. For being one of the better receivers in the league, he's kind of been a little soft lately, and I haven't been able to pinpoint why. Maybe it's just the passes are coming in too hot. Maybe they're just a little bit out forward. Dan Campbell Scott just said Dan Campbell not reading the room and knowing sometimes you have to play the field position game is why we lost. Exactly. I mean, I just said that. Like, if we would have just maybe punted instead of going for that fake punt, maybe it would have been different. They wouldn't have had such good fucking field position. If we would have just kicked a few of those field goals, obviously we didn't want to kick them to the one side because the wind was whipping like crazy, but we had a few opportunities on the other end of the field where the wind wasn't a factor. We would have been into this game. Dan Campbell brought this up in his post-game press conference, Scott. Like, he took the blame for this one. We should have won this game. bad decisions, play calling that probably cost us this game. But at the same time, that offense did not step up. They did not play to their abilities. The offensive line, did not play well at all. Jared Goff couldn't get a pass off. There was so much pressure on him. That fucking noise makes me want to punch you in the face. Not going to lie. You do that shit all the time. It's cringy as fuck. And I just said cringy. I feel like my kid.
Jeez. Yeah, that makes me want to punch you in the face. Fucking cringy.
Fucking A. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what he said, Scott. And that's sometimes you got to get out of that position and accept the fact that sometimes you need to play small ball. And he has a hard time doing that.
Because he's got big balls. He's Dan Campbell.
He does. And we have a turnaround week this coming up week. And
that does not matter. You don't need,
it doesn't matter.
You can't keep having turnaround weeks. You need to put games, you need to win consistently. Because right now we're out of the playoffs. Playoffs start tomorrow. We're out of the playoffs.
We are. There's 7 games left. I said at the beginning of the season,
it still does not matter. You're out of the playoffs right now.
I said at the beginning of the season that we're going to go 12-5. We're still on pace for that. I think we lose one more this season. We finish out at 12.
To who?
I think we lose to the Rams. No. I called that at the beginning of the season.
We lose to Chicago last game of the year.
No, we're going to beat Chicago again. Chicago doesn't beat good teams. I think we lose to the Rams and we win out the rest of them.
We show Matthew Stafford who his daddy is, and that's Big Dan Campbell.
We beat them the last 3 times that we
faced them. And it's going to be 4.
And we have to play them in Los Angeles.
This is just for you.
Fucking A. That does not make good fucking audio for people listening.
It makes to piss you off, though. So
we lost 4 viewers when you did that.
Well,
4 viewers.
Probably because you started talking, we lost a lot of viewers.
No, it's because you make stupid fucking noises, Eric.
You just almost had beer come out of my nose.
Fuck.
Almost had beer come out of my nose. You almost got me.
Does anybody else have any feedback about this game on how they feel about
it? It was a very defensive game. It was a very defensive football game. I think Jason's going to agree. And I think the Jameson Williams penalty killed us. 1 point. Granted 1 point, but he costed us 4 because you threw us under the bus a little bit. So there's 4 points right there. Then that pass interference call really could have set the tone a little bit different. You could at least walked away with 3, if not 7. So that's why I think Williams costed us 4 points, and that'd have been a lot closer game. If it was a little bit closer game, you never know. But I think the Lions are getting a little bit too much away from the run game. That is their fucking bread and butter. And okay, granted, you have a very young offensive line, but like Panay Sewell said, he'd rather go forward than backward. Same with Decker. You'd rather go forward than backward because you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're going straight up. Guy in front of you is getting blocked. Then you're looking for that linebacker. Stay with the run game a little bit longer. I think that's where they're losing who they are. Because last year, if you probably were to throw Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery's rushing yards last year to this year right now, probably a lot more. You had a lot. I think you had a lot more rushing yards.
Montgomery had a lot more, but I think they've been falling back off Montgomery a little bit. I think we need to get him more involved.
You do because he is the one that will just run people over. Don't get me wrong. I love Gibbs and all that, but last year it was the Sonic and Knuckles. You had you pick your poison. That's what it was. And right now they're not doing that.
Well, they're trying to rush Gibbs up the middle a little bit too much.
And you shouldn't be doing that. That's Montgomery. You fucking shove him up the middle and he'll get it. He'll go for 3 yards, fall forward. There's 5.
Yeah. Like he still averages 45 yards a carry. When
exactly.
You do that 2 downs, you're a first down. Like
I think they're trying to figure out who they are right now just because how many, the coordinators they lost. You lost 2 great coordinators. I think they're trying to figure it out, and that's why Dan Campbell took over. And like he said, he took 100% blame, and I respect that. Yeah. Jason, what is your opinion on this game, Sir Jason?
Very defensive-minded game. My biggest takeaway, my only takeaway is you don't have to play big ball football all the time. When you are in a position like you were in Philadelphia with the Eagles, one of the elite teams in the NFC, sometimes it's okay to just go for the field goal. You don't have to go for it every time you're at.
But granted, that game, the win was fucking nuts. There was a lot of win and all that, and also post game before it started, even Barkley said this feels like a playoff game. They said it's a playoff game atmosphere, so there was a lot on the line for that game. And granted, the win played a factor and all that, but it was very. You look at that game; it was a playoff game how it was played. It was a very defensive game and all that, and it showed the Lions where they're at right now, and they have 7 games. We have 7 games left. They need to fix it. Granted, yes, we play the Giants next. That's you count that as a win, but I'm not. You can't have them bounce back games. You need to go play the good teams and win those games. Period. You do. You want to win a Super Bowl. You want to go deep in the playoffs. You have to win those games, because once it comes down to the playoffs, when you're playing top defenses, every top defense the Lions have played this year, Kansas City, Philly, I can't remember who else they lost to, has had a top defense.
Yeah, Green Bay.
You're looking at that. They cannot.
Minnesota. That's their 4 losses.
Yep, right there. Those 4 teams have top defenses, and that's what's screwing them right now.
That shows when you get a defense that has the ability to rush the passer, we have issues.
Yep.
That offensive line has a little bit of issues.
And that's going to be our problem if we make it to when we make it to the postseason. Can we protect Goff? That is going to be our problem.
Because he doesn't have the ability to escape a pocket.
He's not. He is a pocket passer, and if you give him the time in the pocket, he'll fucking pick apart the defense.
Yeah.
Is he more mobile than Tom Brady? Yes, but he's not as mobile.
Yeah.
He's not more mobile than he needs to be to get out of there.
All right. So let's bang out this last game so that way we can get to
Dallas Cowboys, baby.
Cowboys 33, Raiders 16.
We all picked this one, I think.
I think we all picked this one. Yeah. Prescott, 268 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. Williams, 93 yards rushing. Pickens, 144 yards receiving, 1 touchdown. Pickens is having one hell of a year.
CeeDee Lamb got a touchdown too.
Yep. On the other side, Geno Smith, 238 yards passing, 1 touchdown. He also had 14 rushing yards. And then Brock Bowers, 72 yards receiving. Game kind of went exactly how I thought it was going to go.
Well, no, it's not, because CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens were on the sideline for the first series of the game.
Well, maybe that was their game plan.
It might work.
Yeah. But yeah, that was last week in the NFL. So we can move on to our picks.
Let's do it.
Okie dokie. Where did we at? There we are.
Okie dokie artichoke.
We're going to kick things off on Thursday night in Week 12 of the NFL wait a minute. Yeah. Buffalo Bills will be traveling to Houston to play the Texans.
Well, CJ Stroud is out.
Yeah, he's out. He's still on concussion
Josh
protocol.
Allen went on fucking
Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills.
Yep, Buffalo Bills for sure.
Okay. Who we got next?
All right, the early games on Sunday. Starting off with the Indianapolis Colts.
Here we go.
Against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Who you got, Timothy Sheridan? Oh, okay. Jason's got Colts. Who you got?
Man, as much as this hurts, I'm going to pick the Chiefs.
Oh, Colts all day. Colts.
I'm going
to make sure I watch this game. This is going to be a hell of a game.
I love the Chiefs, but this is one of those games as a fan of the Chiefs that I go, they have to win this. They have to get back in the division, but I'm going to have to pick Colts on this one.
Oh, wow.
The Colts have been too hot.
Wow. Okay. So we're all going Colts this game.
Yeah.
Okay. Seattle Seahawks at the Tennessee Titans.
Seahawks. Looks like Jason's picking Seahawks too.
Yeah. Minnesota Vikings will be going to Lambeau Field to play the Green Bay Packers. Big NFC North showdown. I'm going to go Green Bay on this.
I'm going to go Green Bay too.
I'm going to go Vikings.
Okay.
I think there's going to be an upset there. I think the Vikings, after JJ is going to have a bounce back, and he always plays the NFC teams tough.
All right. The Baltimore Ravens will be hosting the New York Jets.
Jason's going to pick the Jets, but I'm going to pick Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Baltimore too.
I am going to go with Baltimore on this. We're getting too late.
So he is wisened up on his picks in the Jets.
The New York Giants at the Detroit Lions.
Lions.
Yeah, I'm going to go Lions. That New York offense is just
You're going into Ford Field. It's still tough to win there.
Yeah, it's tattered with fucking injuries. So the Lions, they're gonna put up a 50 burger on this one. I think this is one of those weeks where they have fucking almost 600 yards of offense.
For the record, I'm going with the Lions as well.
Okay.
I am also going to be picking the Pittsburgh Steelers when they travel to Soldier Field to play the Chicago Bears.
This is a hard one.
I'm going to go Steelers. The Steelers are going to be a real test for the Bears. I'm going to go Steelers.
The problem is Aaron Rodgers might not be available for this game. So you might
Rudolph can still play, though. He's still good. And then the Steelers defense is going to be a better defense the Bears have not played against. I'm going to go Steelers.
I mean, I see that point, and I don't believe in the Bears yet, even though they're sitting on top of the North. So I'm going to actually bet against them because I hope that they lose this game to put the Lions back in position. So I'm going to pick the Steelers as well. And this is more of I hope that this happens.
Just really hoping you go Bears.
The Cincinnati Bengals hosting the New England Patriots.
This is another tough one because
Patriots. It's not a fucking tough one. The Patriots are playing hot. They're 8-2 right now.
They're 8-2.
And Jamar Chase is fucking suspended.
Jamar Chase is suspended.
Patriots.
But who started practicing again recently?
The Patriots.
Who started practicing against recently?
Joe Burrow ain't going to make it. Joe Burrow's not going to
Joe Burrow can win games on his own.
He can. Until you can pick the
But I don't think Joe Burrow's playing yet. So because he's not playing, I'm going to pick the Patriots. I think they're the hottest team in the AFC. I think they have a fast track to the Super Bowl this year. And it sucks because the fucking Patriots are back.
Yeah, it does. But Patriots. Who are you picking, Jason?
Patriots. Yeah. All right. That moves us to the late games on Sunday when the Las Vegas Raiders will be hosting the Cleveland Browns.
Fucking barn burner here, huh?
Yeah, that's not a good one.
This one's got game of the week written all over it.
Who you picking, Tim?
Fuck, I don't know.
Jason, who you got? You already sound like you had your pick.
You got Gabriel starting for the Browns. Gino's not starting for the Raiders this week, is he? I heard they were going to start somebody else.
Don't know.
Possibly. You know what? I'm going to take the Raiders.
I'm going to take Cleveland.
I'm going to take Cleveland.
All right. Jacksonville Jaguars will be traveling to Arizona to play the Cardinals. I'm going to go Arizona with this.
That's where I want to go. But
that's where I want to go too with the offensive numbers that they put up. Brissett's putting up crazy fucking numbers.
I'm going to go Jackson. I'm going to go Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm going to go Jacksonville too because I just don't think Arizona has a good red zone game.
Jacksonville is still in the hunt for the playoff, and they need to keep it going by winning this game. I'm going to go Jacksonville. The Cardinals, the playoff hopes are done. They'd have to win out, and it's not going to happen.
The Dallas Cowboys hosting the Philadelphia Eagles.
Eagles. Don't even act like this is a hard pick. It's a fucking
This
Eagles.
is a hard one because
who are you going with, Jason?
Eagles.
Okay. The fucking Eagles. It's the Eagles.
All right, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to
pick the Cowboys.
I'm going to pick the Eagles as well.
Damn
but
it.
There's Philly. I think Dallas has a better offense than the Eagles do currently, but I think the Eagles have a better defense than the Cowboys do. I think
they have a top fucking 5 defense.
This is going to be a hell of a battle.
Well, you know who's playing really good? Clark from that trade.
At
Dallas. He's like you look at who's playing better from that trade. Clark's playing better than fucking Micah Parsons right now.
Yeah.
Micah Parsons is a bitch.
But yeah, I'm going to pick the Eagles just because I think they squeeze this one away. But I think this is going to be a tough game. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys win it, but I'm still going to pick the Eagles as a safe bet.
Okay. New Orleans Saints hosting the Atlanta Falcons.
Falcons. I think Cousins is starting this week.
I'm going to go Falcons just because they lost a close one against Carolina, but the Saints are not on the same level as Carolina. I'm going Falcons.
Not at all. Yeah, I'm going to go Falcons too.
Jason, who you got?
I really want to go with the Saints here, but
do it. Bet you won't go with your gut.
I'm going to go Atlanta.
Okay, I tried to talk him into it.
I know you did. You see, you got me the last time with that shit.
I did. I know. I tried again. I tried. Now this one's going to be a tough one.
Sunday night football, the Los Angeles Rams hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I'm gonna go Rams.
Yeah.
I saw that, Scott, by the way. I saw that.
You're going Rams, Jason?
Yes, sir.
I think the Rams are too high. I think they're the real contender in the NFC. I've been saying it all.
Eric
go
is a
Rams.
big fan of
I want to go Baker. I'm going Baker Mayfield. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Fuck Tim. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Fuck Stafford. He doesn't deserve MVP. The MVP is going to be Jonathan Taylor, and if it's not, the NFL is rigged for that fucking award.
Against that? You have a Rams jersey right behind you. You're silhouetted by a Rams
put it there.
right now.
Who put it there? You put it there. I didn't put it there. I'll put Cabrera behind me right now. That's what I thought. Take Baker Mayfield, motherfucker.
All right. And that brings us to Monday Night Football, where the Carolina
49ers.
Panthers are getting some national love this week.
49ers.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you right now, Jason, I know which way you're going, but I'm happy to see Carolina in this position because I think they've earned it this year to be, in the spotlight on Monday Night Football in prime time.
And take them.
They're playing some of their best. I'm not going to take them against the 49ers. 49ers
pussy.
49ers have been rolling along even through the injuries this year. They've still been rolling along. So I'm going to pick 49ers here. But I do think Carolina deserves some props, and they deserve to be in a primetime game this year. Usually I would say, why the fuck would they put this game in primetime? But I think this is going to be a good game.
I'm going for the upset. I'm going
I
with
knew
the
you
Panthers.
would. I knew you'd go that way. You pick Panthers every week.
I have too, haven't I?
Yes, you have. And it's paid off 6 times already.
That's very true.
All right. Well, that is the predictions for week 12 of the NFL season. Anything else you guys want to throw out there before we start winding this down?
Eric, I just want to apologize for saying I wanted to punch you in the face.
I want you to punch me in the face.
There's no room for violence on this show.
Because if you punch me in the face, you're going to unleash the dragon.
The fucking dragon?
Yeah. You weren't ready for that one.
Now I really do want to punch you.
Bet you won't.
No.
Get a couple whiskeys in you. You might.
Maybe. But in all seriousness, another great show, guys. I'm really enjoyed it. I hope everybody enjoyed it. If you give a second.
I think Jason's going to make a shirt that says you unleash the dragon because he's writing it down. I've seen that. He jumped on that.
If you're watching us on...
you have to get sick the 29th, though. I'm gonna give you. You're gonna get. Food poisoning.
That's not gonna happen.
You're gonna get food poisoning. You're gonna get food poisoning. You
cannot call in sick and then show up live on I'm gonna call broadcast on the fucking internet that your boss just happens to watch.
I'm gonna call Krabby Abby. I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna call Krabby Abby and pull some strings.
It's not gonna happen.
Or I'll just flatten his tires.
I do apologize, guys. But that is one of 2 days a year that is an absolute blackout date at my work that you cannot miss. So I do apologize about not being there for the Ohio State, Michigan game, but I do tell you.
It's okay, because you'd piss me off, because you've been saying go Buckeyes, so fuck you.
I know, I've only been saying that to piss you off. So
yeah, I know, so
working.
Fuck you.
So my work as a heel is never over. But I do want to say, wherever you're watching us right now, please give us a like, whether it's on the PFC Entertainment Network. We need more likes there. The Sports Real Podcast. Also follow us on, YouTube, on X, on Instagram, and on now TikTok.
TikTok.
If you haven't followed us on TikTok yet, you can search the Sports Real Podcast or the PFC Entertainment Network page. We're trying to rush to 1,000 viewers so we can go live on there every week too. So whichever one reaches first, I think will be, which one can we get there first? But hope you like the content. Please give us a like. And Jason, you can lead us out, brother.
Lead us out, big dog.
We certainly appreciate everybody who did tune in here with us live tonight and those who tune in after the fact on the RSS feed. If you haven't done so already, check out our online store, pfcstore.printify.me. That's where you're going to find the new Unleash the Dragon shirt that's coming out this weekend. I guarantee you that. And the holiday store is now up, live, and ready to roll at pfcholidays2025.printify.me. And of course, for all the latest information, aside from our social media accounts, you can check us out at pfcnetwork.net. With that, go out, be awesome to yourselves and to each other. We'll see you next week right here on the Sports Reel podcast on the PFC Entertainment Network.
Real quick, I just want to say, if you make an Unleash the Dragon shirt with a picture of his, a picture of his face on it,
Please do it.
you need to make a Dragon Killer shirt with a picture of my face.
Oh, that's not going to happen.
Other than that,
go
Lions.
2,173 days since
Go
the Ohio
Red
State
Wings.
Buckeyes have not beaten the Michigan Wolverines. Tim's
Go
a bitch. Don't
Pistons.
forget that.
And go Ohio State.
I